Hey there, Ken Zorvich, NFM Lending. Hope you're having an excellent start to your holiday weekend. So, the mortgage industry is making the news, which usually doesn't happen. So, I thought we would tackle the topic. And that is Fed Chair Lisa Cook is being accused of mortgage fraud. So, let's take some politics out of it for a second and just look at what we know and help you understand what are they really accusing her of. Okay, so really what she's being accused of is what's called occupancy fraud. So anytime you make a mortgage application, you have to say, is this a primary home, a second home, or an investment property? Now, why is this important? It all comes down to risk for Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Ginnie Mae. If someone has a primary residence, they generally get the best rates with the least amount of money needed to be put down as a down payment. And the reason they do that is it's viewed as a less risky proposition if someone buys a primary residence, because if there's economic calamity, right? Somebody loses a job, someone gets sick, someone is hurt, and they have trouble now making payments or doing anything like that, they'll do whatever they can to save a primary residence. But if it's a second home or investment, as you go down the line, you become less likely to want to save any of that because it could just be a bad investment and you want to let it go, right? So when you apply for a mortgage, you have to say, what are you applying for? And does it make sense on paper that this is what this particular property will be used for? Now, what Lisa Cook is being alleged to have done is had closed on a primary mortgage in one state and 2 weeks later close on another property in a different state and say that it was a primary mortgage also. All right. Now, when you go in and you sign your mortgage documentation, it's not just the application that you reaffirm this. It's also a document in the closing package that says you will occupy the property for said, you know, occupancy that you've claimed for at least 12 months. Then after that, you can change it and do whatever you want. So that's why, like, if it's a primary residence, doesn't mean it can't ever become a rental property. So what really looks fishy for her is that she did both of them within 2 weeks. It's not like one of them became a primary residence, then she converted to investment, then bought another one as a primary residence. That would be totally fine. It's the frequency within this short period of time, right? And she went to two different lenders. So the two different lenders could maybe not know what she was doing. Obviously, would it be the first time that two lenders weren't on the same page because of what a borrower was doing? I actually came across that with a client one time where I found out he was in the process of refinancing a property, and we were helping him buy something, and I had all these questions come over to me because he was refinancing as a primary residence. And after closing, Freddie Mac, because of this. So, what does this all mean now as far as what could happen to her? So technically, if someone has occupancy fraud, they can have a basically an instant foreclosure. Okay, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae can call the notes due, which is basically like instant foreclosure, even if you're paying it on time. And trust me, this happens. I know of people that this has happened to. They bought a property as a primary residence, rented it right away, and guess what? They got called the note due. Okay, it's a bad situation. So theoretically, that could happen to her in all of this. Maybe being ousted as a Fed chair is the least of her concerns, or one of many concerns, I should say, that she's going to have here. And then the second part is there could be monetary penalties if it's determined that she committed occupancy fraud. But I think for that to happen, you'd have to have very rampant, probably some sort of rampant multiple properties and multiple savings and just kind of add up, but they could technically come up with a monetary fine as well. So the question just becomes, okay, is this being politicized? Is this really something that we should worry about? My question to you, or my response to that would be, yes, there are political undertones, and I know whether you support Trump I would say they need to be very careful with the pressure they're putting on the Fed. The Fed needs to remain neutral. And if you hate Trump, you probably look at this and say he's just being, crazy Trump as always, right? I will say that it is important that we hold people accountable, even consumers, to occupancy fraud, because this type of stuff happens for real where people do this and it can crumble within a system. It really can. And it's not good. And we want to keep it out. And it's why Fannie, Freddie, and Ginnie are really cracking down on it because it's become a big problem over the last few years. So keep an eye on this. There could be more to come when it comes to the outcome of Lisa Cook and her mortgage trouble. But look, if you have any questions on this or anything else in the mortgage industry, please don't hesitate to reach out. Make sure you get in some time with some friends and family this weekend. And as always, I'd love to be in the business in 5 years. If you know someone looking to purchase or refinance, please think of me. Have a great weekend.